Oh, hey, that's right. He's not here. Oh,
I'm scared.
We have to do introductions.
We have to do it this time. You do
Should
it.
the
You're better at it
professional
than
do it,
me.
or should you?
Change. I don't like this.
The professional should do this. The professional. I'll leave it to you. It's all you, Ethan.
All right, folks. Today on Into the Nightmare, our lovely DM is gone, so we are going to do a Q&A episode. That being said, we are still doing a giveaway this week. Every day this week, every stream, we're giving a giveaway of a $10 Amazon gift card, right?
Yep, that's right.
That's what we're... Okay. That is what we're doing. So the information will be in the chat. All you have to do is be subscribed and type in a thing, and you don't even have to stick around. Other than that,
follow. You just have to be followed.
Follow.
Yeah.
Follow, not subscribed. My bad. It's
But if
YouTube is subscribed. Anyway, speaking of YouTube,
if you
subscribe to our YouTube.
You know, I mean, you could subscribe too. That would be handy and lovely. We love you forever.
Speaking of YouTube, this is the perfect time if you are new to catch up on the 19 episodes of Into the Nightmare so far. It is all up on YouTube, 19? Right? Last week's episode is already up? Nope. Today is 20.
It is. Yeah, last week's up. It's up every 4 days after.
Yep. And you can also catch up on our other tabletop RPGs, D&D streams, which are Saturdays Nightbane at 4 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time and Sundays Sundays Tales of Andrea, at 3 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. So we have no questions because one, we don't have a DM to plan the episode apparently, even though a DM is currently in the party.
Hey.
Cough.
I feel like
so
we could all take that mantle.
Since I've taken the reins, I'm going to make Murray ask some questions that he may have to the rest of the party until we start getting some questions in the chat.
Oh my gosh, he's throwing it
so
at me.
Do you have anything you would like to ask any of us?
You know what I think?
It is open, my friends. Battles have yet to begin. Laughter will be heard in gales and floods, but if not, at least there will be blood. The sorrow and loss may abound. We'll do our best to hold this hallowed ground.
Blueberry.
All right, I was typing something. You thought you could get away from my line of questioning, or from... No. Anyway, just go.
No, I can't get away from your line of questions. What questions do you have, Ethan? By all means,
None.
That's right.
Send them my way. Do it to it. Yeah, anyone who's watching, you can hop into chat and you can actually just give us a little inspiration. Ask us a question. Otherwise, I'm going to be looking at people and just saying, "What the fuck is up with that?" repeatedly. Like,
otherwise, I'm just going to start talking about the Batman. That's just going to happen.
Okay,
so you need to keep me away from that.
Deshane.
Yeah.
You're role-playing a character from a book series. What the fuck is up with that?
Because he's my favorite.
We're playing What the fuck is up you
I love this game.
He's my favorite. That's why.
Details.
You mean the character from
he's my favorite.
Are you saying that a character from the book that has a painting that's directly over your head is your favorite? Is that what you're saying?
I have a pretty much a sleeve of tattoos on my body.
Oh,
that
yeah.
guy.
Yeah. What a guy.
That guy.
What a guy. Yeah.
That guy.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I just feel
Yeah,
like...
why? You should know why. I mean, we worked together while I was reading those books.
We did, actually, yeah.
Yeah, it was a very strange, odd time in my life, and I was going through something, personally. So
I remember the cans
that, like,
getting
really
thrown in the kitchen.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, I'm still a very angry human being, but not like I used to be. So, yeah.
So
It means something to me.
That's-
These
okay.
characters mean something.
I'll accept that answer. I will accept it. Ash Void, for the save. Thank you. What's the hardest thing you've ever had to emotionally portray in a season?
In a session.
Session, thank you. I don't know why I read that as season. Interesting. Not necessarily OBI campaigns, so at-home campaigns too. Who wants to start?
Man.
Should we do rollies to see who starts this question?
Yeah, let's roll off.
Let's roll initiative. With our
me get
characters
my dice
initiative,
out.
I don't want that because I'll
12.
be going first.
12.
You got 12?
What'd you
Have to
get?
my dice out.
You nat 20.
No, I
You
got a
nat
fucking
20?
natty 1.
Nice.
Oh, okay,
You're
cool.
last. No, that means you go first.
That means I go first.
You
You
lose.
lose, sir. You lose.
I said
10.
10. Okay,
10.
so natural 1.
Uh-huh.
All right, well,
Just
you
Shane,
will roll.
Faye. I'm last.
You're
then
last.
it goes
Then
natural
Mixie.
1, Faye, Smasher, than me.
Perfect. You know what? I don't know. I play a lot of tragically tragic characters who have really, really dark backstories and back histories.
Edgelord.
Well, okay, so Callus had a really bad and tragic backstory, and he wasn't an edgelord. So you can have a character who is super cheerful and giddy in ways, so many different ways, who has a tragic backstory and still not be an edgelord. It is a lot more fun to be edgy, though, with those kind of characters, because it gives a bit more flavor to the character, aspect and possibility of redeeming themselves or changing as the campaign goes by. But the telling of Valisaur's, I'm gonna have to go with the telling of how he got to where he is, the destruction of his family. That it was not fun. It was fun, but oofda, the feels.
I'm gonna have to say it's a scene that has yet to happen that is going to happen with Mixie.
Nice.
There's been a lot of talks between me and our lovely DM as I try and get everything straight and prepare for what's eventually to come in conversation, especially with the party. I dropped a bunch of little like cherry bombs last episode, and none of them to actual players.
All
Yeah.
to NPCs. Not bitter about that at all.
That's completely helpful to us. That's 1,000% helpful.
Well, at this point, Mixie doesn't want to do emotions with Deshane because he gets uncomfortable with emotions. It's
Well,
completely.
this is the thing. It's not that he's uncomfortable. I think what everyone's failing to understand is he's not purposefully being an edgelord. He's kind of dense when it comes to, like, it's just he's naturally built up walls that he doesn't even realize, or it's like it's hard to
Right.
explain. He's not
Okay, 'cause I'm gonna-
purposefully.
Right. No, I
Mixie's
get that.
dropped a big hint to Deshane in conversation that could have had the conversation while she was in a bubble bath. That never happened. She had dropped a big hint of like oh, there was a big drop there, and like Deshane just like walked right by it, and I was just like, okay.
This is the thing to him, right? If you don't come out and say it, he's not going to ask you about it because he feels like it's not important enough for you to tell him
Only
at
the
that time.
lines are
So he thinks in his head, well, she's going to tell me when she tells me. And whatever
Kind of
she
how
tells me,
she views
tells me.
everything with you, yeah.
Yeah,
That's kind of how she
exactly.
views you. But no,
One-
she's never talked about it. So all of these talks she's having about everything are her first times actually talking about it.
I'm excited for whenever it comes up.
Yep.
It's gonna be a hoot.
Yep.
Oh,
And
yeah.
she's too concerned to drop her emotional baggage on her robot child, and Valisor has told her she needs to smile. So she's like, okay, smile for Valisor, emotions isn't Deshane's thing, and I need to help my son. So
I mean,
Where's my son?
Smash, all things considered, Smasher's actually doing fine. Like, a lot's gone on, but like, all things considered, of all the party members, like, okay, so, to be fair, there's a lot I don't know about my own character. There's a lot I don't know, and that's by design. I specifically have designed this character, or not designed this character, and put a lot of things in our lovely DM's hands, Vaughn's hands. And I did that so that as things come up, he can utilize me to drive plot, but also Smasher woke up basically with a robot amnesia, right? Let's call it what it is. So, like, the idea that I didn't know anything was just honest to God. I was playing that character out as that. You want to talk about hard things to do in character. I was trying to discover how to be a real boy in real time in character, because I didn't have motivation. I didn't have a tragic backstory. I didn't have somebody who told me to be here. I literally wandered onto set and was like, hi, and people were like, hey, come here, do the thing, and I followed. And that was really, I always knew I wanted to take him from a place of complete flat into like depth and texture and whatnot. Like, that was the journey I always knew I wanted with him, but like, unfortunately it takes learning in real time what actually is going on with him in order to do any of that. So it's just this weird at any given time where he's at. But like, realistically speaking, from what we know, what we all know of him, you guys know of him is what I know of him at this point, for the most part, with the exception of like some minor things. So like, nobody's coming after him. He doesn't have an expiration date. Like, he lost a friend, man. He lost a friend, and he's kind of upset about that. And that's the biggest thing in his world right now, is he had a friend that he lost. His first friend in the entire world, he lost, right? So you can see how that is his entire world. Like, you guys are his entire world for all intents and purposes. So like, it's a weird growing thing of growing pains with you guys, and having these kind of these curveballs thrown at me, because it's not just coming from you guys, it's coming from the DM in a way of being like, oh, this is how your character is, by the way, and here's some backstory. He sends me these emails and is like, okay, do with that what you will. And I'm like, thanks. Okay, I'll internalize that for the next week and just put it right here, and we'll see how this goes. We'll see how this goes, Vaughn. But I think the most emotionally wrought thing I've ever had to do for a session is play through Callus, like the loss of Callus. Like, that was by far, I think, the most emotionally like wrought I've ever been like in a role play session. I still get like choked up thinking about it.
No,
it's hard. It's hard, and it's just like, we were so in it that day, and everything was really hardcore that day. And I mean, I've had emotional, like, I've only played in a few campaigns myself. I think this is like my third campaign I've ever played in my life. So like, it's not like, and the other two campaigns that I've played in, I'm currently in still. Like, they only started a couple years ago. I've only been playing for a couple of years. So like one came as a power trip and it's super goofy, though we have emotional moments. Like, it's super goofy. And our my other Strahd campaign is just super gritty and dark. It's just like my DM measures combat and whether or not he can kill a party member. Like, straight up, that's how he measures his combats and how he comes back to us the next week. So, like, they're two very different campaigns, whereas this one is just like, battle mechanics aside, like, this is much more roleplay than any of my other campaigns, like, by far. And it's just amazing how, like, especially we've been playing it, what did you say, 19 episodes?
It's 19 episodes now, yeah.
19 episodes.
Last
yeah.
week was our 19th.
Like, that's, I mean, and we play at 4 hours an episode.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's insane how many hours we've spent as these characters. So I think, yeah, by far, like, I've lived in Smasher's shoes, living through Smasher, through a little robot boy losing his best friend in the entire world was probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to experience in D&D or any roleplay environment.
The
Yep.
last one is to Shane.
All right, so mine's like, because of the character, it's the opposite, right? So actually knowing that Callus got as far away from him as possible, as that character could, was actually the best thing for that character. The emotionally wrought points that I've had playing the character, that is deciding to allow the other party members to follow along and to begin to include them, because in Deshane's mind that is dooming them eventually. So it's the equivalent of pulling the trigger.
Yeah.
So that is why it's, it's difficult. Callus leaving was like, oh, whew, well, the boy's safe, That's he felt, even though it was still
down.
like, he won't be able to see him again, and that sucks. But everyone else has died, so
At least
Yep.
he
he's
doesn't like
alive.
including people.
We miss Callus. Just saying. Everybody misses Callus.
Everybody misses Callus.
Well, it's
Everybody.
up to the Tales of Andrea crew to make sure he survives.
Oh,
Oh yeah, but we know he does.
Mixie will travel
Hey.
universes. She's done it already.
okay.
Do you know he
so
does? No one rolled an insight check on Valisor when he was saying all that stuff.
Yeah, I don't know.
He could have been lying the whole time.
Good. I hope. Anyway, next
I
question.
think Smasher was present for a lot of that stuff.
You were actually. You were there the whole time. Your back was to a tree. You just had some lovely fire water during the time frame. Odd event. We do have 2 more lovely questions here. One I've already kind of semi-answered from Zelda Elves 90 Studios. I think we've seen a theme with your 2 characters in this game, Marie. Do you like making your PCs have terrible relationships with people that did awful things? Yes, I love it. It's a driving force that pushes them forward and progresses things. It's great. Neutral characters are so boring. I find them so boring. If you're gonna play a neutral character, expect my character not to like them. People don't just sit stagnant their life, they change. Any kind of situation can make someone change. So if you're forcing your character to be neutral, you're doing it on purpose. And I don't think that's fair to the character. So I like giving them a little boost.
People change and grow.
They do.
Absolutely.
They change and grow.
Like, you change and grow, and your characters should, like, these should be living and breathing.
Mhm.
I have a character who is basically an analog for me, who made a conscious decision to chop his arm off and add a prosthesis. And admittedly, I mean, it was part of like the attunement process, but like had no idea that his patron had literally done the same thing in another campaign, because it's actually one of my DM's characters is my patron for my warlock. So like had done the same thing, and like all of a sudden, so like my character kind of had an entire like mood shift on like becoming a warlock and all this, because like, hey, like this was a traumatic thing to my body and to my brain. Like things change, people should change, characters should change.
Yeah, I totally agree. What kind of, so, okay, this is a question I have for you guys. What, it's along the same lines. What kind of characters do you like playing the best? Meaning, if you had to choose like a way to describe your characters, what's like the most often thing you do? You know?
Personally, the key component with the four characters or the five characters I've created, but 4 characters I've run are I can't not have some form of like snark to me and like rant. It's kind of who I am as an individual. Like it was so weird and hard playing so deadpan for a long time as Smasher, where it was just hello, how are you, and shit like that. It was physically difficult for me, because all I wanted to do was fucking, so like the moment I came back as Smasher and I had a bit of personality and I fucking called Shane an edgelord and was just like, oh, you're not my real dad, and like stormed off, like that was so fucking free. That was so fucking freeing, because I've ranted with, I think I have some form of that with every single character that I play. I think that's my way of like getting that angst I get in my chest out during a match, is just like doing that. So I just incorporate it into like every character.
Okay.
It's probably I like my characters chaotic. If I had to stick by an alignment trait, there's always a chaotic something. I struggle with evil personally. I don't. Vaughn was a DM for the one campaign I was evil in, and even then, I adopted 2 changeling kids.
For
I'm a
dinner
mom.
later, right?
No, I saved them. She has the character had a soft spot for children, and first session she killed an entire town without the party knowing it was her. She did bad things, but I always make characters who, if they do bad things, think they're doing it for good reasons. They're never always truly evil. If I can't come up with a reason why a good person would do it, I can't do evil.
Road to hell paved in good intentions sort of shit.
I had a campaign that we called at the end of it the Campaign of Good Intentions, because we literally caused the destruction of an entire world by accident. Curious to yours, Ethan. I actually think I know this
You
answer
probably
already.
know.
I'm pretty sure I do, but
So
There's 2 things. So quickly, every single one of my characters has like a touch of like my inner like, the fuck you, fuck you, you know, a little bit. You know, every single one of them has that. But I love playing characters that are, the cat is a, that are like they have a duality. They are simultaneously 2 things. You know, before Drake and before I started playing with Murray was Calibrim. He was a warlock who was a good person secretly. He just kind of wanted to be bad, you know, and he constantly like fought that like goodness in him. Draken was a paladin of redemption, but an extraordinarily violent warrior on top of that. Brolog's got nothing on the shit I was as Draken. He's coming close though. He's doing some
It's getting a lot
stuff.
closer.
What was the last one's name? The one that you based Duncan off of, kind of.
Oh,
What was his name? Andor Woodgallow.
Galloway?
No, Woodgallow.
It was Woodgallow.
So that was
Freaking
a
nice serial
halfling,
killer.
unassuming, guy, and a horrendous serial killer on the side. A horrendous. I had this whole thing going on the side. It was a bad campaign that didn't end well. And then your Landril is, the chosen one who happens to be a bumbling moron. So it's like this duality of his like personality, is like he's always wanted to, do something good with his life, but he's gotten in his way every step of the way. You know what I mean? He's like constantly fighting with himself. And then
I have a
Deshane is
question.
just, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. No, finish, please.
Deshane is, a last knight, a Ronin, if you will, that works for the light, but is also a man with no name, gunslinger, in the Old West that is a straight up murderer. That's what he is,
Pew pew.
But he's both of those things.
Yeah.
Right.
So I said what I don't play. So I
Oh.
didn't answer the question.
Whoops.
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
So I think what I do play are people with big hearts who are struggling with some aspect of the world. And usually, instead of blaming the world for it, they're blaming themselves.
That makes sense.
All of
Yeah.
them. Now, like I sit
Yeah.
here, I'm like, no. Every character has like, yes, I'm doing good things, but I have to fix the wrong things, but I'm doing the wrong things, and I can't fix myself. It's
You have to
the
fix
horrible
yourself
logic.
then.
The horrible logic of all of my characters.
So I have a question, right? So I know it's a habit I've found with my characters, and it's to the point where like I consciously have to remind myself sometimes to like that I'm not a character, and I should not be sharing certain emotions and feelings with these characters, but like do any of you get too far into character to the point where it has been detriment to a party? And what I mean by that, let me explain, is I had a character on my Sunday Strahd campaign. The thing was I got to play for the first time a barbarian. He was pretty darn dumb, right? I mean, he wasn't the stupidest guy, but he was pretty darn dumb. And the thing was he was very like, he did yoga in the morning. Like he
That
just
sounds
wanted
familiar.
to like breathe and like, no, everything's fine. No, the house is burnt, but everything's fine. I'm not going to get angry this time. And then as soon as we get into he was a barbarian dragon, and as soon as I believe it was Path of Beast. So like full claws, fangs when he transforms, right? And he just everything go in. Well, so we were prepping for a battle that I wasn't the strategist for, because this character was not a strategist. So I was kind of paying attention, but also talking in kind of character back and forth with another player and whatnot. Now, he was paying attention enough to get the plan. The plan was to go get this guy who had captured one of our allies, trap him in his home, and then maybe like away from everybody else if we had to fight him, do that, but like try to get our ally back. Well, I wasn't quite paying attention, as I think I mentioned, and we get up to the gates of his mansion, and he comes riding out on a horse by himself to see why there's a little bit of rioting going out in his town. So I immediately was like, oh, hey, toy, and I went and flying tackled him, and nat 20'd, so I tackled him and the horse down to the ground, and decided to drag him into the house now that we made a disturbance so that we'd get out away from everything. Well, when one of the other characters that we were going to fight was coming down the stairs and we heard him, as soon as he got to the base of the stairs, I took this, he was a Burgermeister, I took this Burgermeister and just snapped his neck and threw him at his feet. And apparently that was not what we were supposed to be doing right then. That wasn't at all. And I watched my entire party go. I watched my DM go white. Like, my character wouldn't have been paying attention. I wasn't paying attention, and I, honest to God, didn't know what the plan was. From what I had heard, I thought we were going to kill person A, kill person B, retrieve person C, and then, like, maybe burn the town down and walk out. Like, that was kind of what I thought. Red Dragonborn, Fire Breath. Burn the town down, walk out. I thought that was apparently what was going on. Apparently that wasn't the plan at all. So again, I go back to, have you ever gotten so far into a character that it's to the possible detriment of the party?
I've only ever made good decisions.
How did Dragon die again?
Oh yeah, folks. So we kind of thought we understood who the main bad guy was, and we were like, "Hey, let's go, just talk to him." You know, what could go wrong? And then me and my fellow paladin and our other two party members go, and we begin to have a conversation. And slowly but surely, we realize, oh yes, we were correct. We were 100% correct, actually. We were only like 30% sure. And we were like, oh no. Now, me and my paladin friend, Chris, who you might know from Hate Laugh Love stream early on, we looked down at ourselves, and what did we do this morning? Well, we dropped off our armor at the blacksmith. And that's where it was, at the blacksmith. So he didn't have to try that hard to hit me. And he just, what was it? Word kill? What is it? What's
Finger
the
of
spell
death.
called?
That's word kill.
Oh no, he fingered of death me.
Oh, finger
He was
of
just
death,
like
yeah.
bang, and in one thing he matched and beat my health in total. And I was like, oh, I'm dead. Okay.
Like super dead. Like,
And then he was
was
brought back to
just
life, and then I ended up killing that guy later. So it all worked out in the end.
In the end.
only good decisions. Only good decisions.
Lessons learned.
Shit.
You know,
Lessons learned. Only good decisions.
it was only good decisions from them. You got to admit that was like the one big fuck up me and Chris made.
It was a
pretty
massive
much
fuck
the
up.
one big fuck up we made. But we
It
were like,
changed the
we
campaign
weren't
entirely.
100% sure. We weren't 100% sure. We were like, I was suspicious of the guy. Okay, I was one of the people suspicious, and I was like, we got to go talk to this guy. At least just clear some shit up. And just walked in there bare chested, pretty much. I might as well have been naked. That's how little armor I had on. Oh, it was good times though.
That was good stuff. How about you, Mixie? Any characters like that?
There's a little bit of me in every character. Otherwise, I can't. I feel like when I roleplay, I don't like feeling fake. I like it feeling part of the character. So like, if there isn't at least a little bit of me in it, it doesn't feel right. So Mixie liked opening doors that she knows she shouldn't have.
That wasn't that bad.
It was
Yeah.
amusing. I mean, if you didn't do it, Callus was going to.
Just a creature from the Todash space. It's fine.
Yeah,
What could go
It's not
wrong?
the end of the world at all, no.
Maybe it was a little standalone-ish there for a little while until we had the big friendship hug.
God damn you! Yeah, no, Libby is a character that I get lost in.
She's fun, man. But no, like that was the first one that came to mind was like trying to we like at some point I made a conscious decision as a player. I'm like, no, I'm going to love the shit out of Libby. I'm gonna find ways to like bond with Libby. Like this is gonna goddamn happen. Like and finally like we had planned. I remember that day our DM had planned a big battle somewhere else entirely. Like completely had done like this. Like all week had been planning this big battle somewhere else. And then all of a sudden, we decided to go to the graveyard and do a PvP battle, all of our team against one person. And it was non-damage battle. We were trying to capture her so that we could give her a group hug. And we spent the entire session doing a PvP battle that ended in a giant group hug, power of friendship moment.
Yeah, and that's
it was beautiful.
I actually, after that incident, realized just how into the character, like how lost the line was with that character, that I did pull back a bit out of that one. Yeah, definitely got lost in the sauce with Libby.
The backstory there was super compelling, so it was easy to do. And you want to talk about like tragic backstories and all this other like shit going on, like
poor Libby.
Man, poor Libby.
I am me as a person. I'm like that tragic story background rogue stereotype. Like all my characters, tragic backstory, all of them. Don't need to be a rogue to have a tragic backstory.
You can ask Murray. I got fucking lost in the sauce a little bit towards the end of that evil campaign. I started to get lost in the sauce a little bit. As emotionally taxing as playing a straight up like genuinely evil sadistic character is.
Yeah.
Started to get lost in the sauce a little bit. I started to enjoy myself a little bit on that one. We had to back out of that campaign.
We had to back out quick, like hard and fast. But it got to the point where the entire party was actually starting to plot against each other. They had two pivotal heads. It was Ethan and one other lad. And they were literally back and forth bidding for the other party members to join their squad. And they were making logical arguments as characters. So the other players were having huge difficulties deciding who to side with. But the problem is, their characters had abilities that had to be taken into consideration, to where the characters of the other players were like, well, he just used this ability on me, so I genuinely have to believe him. Like, it got bad.
For the record, I was a rogue bard. So what I was is I was a pretty much. So I was a psychic. What is it called? A psychic
Sideblade
rogue. Sideblade rogue.
Something like that.
And a bard of
the
whispers, if I remember correctly. So I can convince you to do anything that I wanted you to do, and I just dealt psychic damage constantly, to the point where I was rolling 66 in just one attack, just a quick whap. I would take out people, and that's how I played the character. And I got feats to where I literally could hide behind anything, anybody. I could move anywhere through anyone that was a size larger than me. I had luck. Oh, you guys think Duncan the Brutal was bad? You think Duncan the Brutal was bad? They wouldn't have even seen me.
Duncan was
and two of the party members would have been convinced that they never saw me. That's how bad my character was. Is I could convince them of my truth.
It
was bad.
Good old Ashford asked a question earlier on. It was, if you could call one party member the Harbinger of Chaos, who would it be?
I mean...
Who are you pointing? I mean, yes, kind of.
Yeah, no.
Are you pointing up or...
I'm pointing diagonally at you.
We're looking at the... Yeah, that's you're above me right now in the... I would say of this group, probably. Like, I could probably call it on Strahd days. You know, maybe on Saturdays, but not in this group, baby. That's all Mixie.
Yeah, no. Mixie, when I originally designed her, was meant to be just this happy ball of chaos.
An explosion of
Giggles.
Let's have parties!
Definitely
See?
a harbinger of chaos.
This is the thing. If she does things that causes problems, I exist and they will cause problems later. We've already seen one person that she has turned inside out, you know?
Yeah.
You can't hold that against her!
Oh, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. I mean,
Hey, look,
as
people pinatas are a
Just
thing.
Stupendous.
yeah, as much as Deshane wanted to interrogate that person,
to live
he was gonna
it.
die anyway. So might as well just
Well-
get.
Okay, so I'm calling Valisaur out for a goddamn fucking second now that you
shit.
said that.
Yeah.
Because Valisaur said in one comment, it was like, oh, I wanted to interrogate him. But he wanted to interrogate the guy that he just killed and like overkilled when he very well could have dealt non-lethal damage and did not. And then he tried to blame it on Smasher for fucking hitting him really hard right before then. It's like, you hit him too hard, so when I hit him, I couldn't control myself and my fist went through his face. Fucking calling you out, bitch. Calling you out. Not my fault. I didn't do it. You could have called non-lethal.
Yeah,
So could have you.
Yeah, but I didn't kill him. I didn't do lethal damage because I didn't kill him.
Still lethal. Unless you call non-lethal.
Yeah, but even if I do lethal damage, if you call non-lethal, he doesn't die. If I did non-lethal and then you do 36 points of damage and he has 3 health left, Murray, you're gonna fucking kill him.
Hey,
I'm
he should
just
have had
saying.
more health.
He should have more health. You
He
talked
should
to
have
Vaughn
had
about
more
that. You
health.
talked to your brother about that. That's not my problem.
No, I mean, you hit him first. He should have had more health. It should have just been me
I did not
hitting
hit him first. I just hit him before you.
That's what I'm saying. You hit him first.
That's not what first means.
God, I love combat in this group. I love combat with you guys so much because it's so fun. You know, it's just something about it is just like we have. I love. Don't get me wrong. I love all parts of Sunday's campaign, but fuck, combat is like can be super fun. I don't know if it's just because of the character I'm playing. That could be it. I could just be projecting it onto
Well, it's,
the party, but.
we've also got a brand new player who still has no idea what the separation between action, bonus action, and movement is, even though we explain it every single combat.
Well, that's Benjamin. I could have warned you about that. That's going to take a little bit of time. I think it would be better if we like went in person one of these times. If we did like an in-person D&D. Which, speaking of, I have a space now. If you guys can't see. So in the future, if we would like to do a Colorado party-based thing for an anniversary or a special event of some sort, we could definitely
Dansky.
do something.
Yeah.
Well, Murray and I have talked about this in the past. We have some ideas in the fire about actual in-person shows, as well as the idea that like when I get my new place here in the next hopefully few months, fingers crossed, I will be reforming an entire basement into not just my studio for work and for like my music and whatnot, but for all of my streaming stuff, as well as like any table talk stuff, couches, whole 9 yards. I'm planning on doing an entire basement remodel. So like, you know, if anybody wants to head into the Broomfield area, you know, maybe we could sit down.
I feel that's
Also,
probably better because it's
Zelda.
like the middle point.
It's Valisaur. To answer your question, it's Valisaur.
Which one?
Valisaur causes the most problems.
Oh, 1,000%.
Hey.
1,000%.
Hey.
We haven't even had him
Just
that long. We ain't even had
remember.
him that long.
I did not attack first. I never attack first. I was shot first by Deshane, then I punched him. I was assaulted by Smasher, and then I attacked
sorry
him.
that a character was running towards us before we found out that it was you, and I
With a
decided to
massive
shoot.
horde of demons behind him. And
It
you
was I
don't know if
decide to
you're leading
shoot
them
the
demons.
armored person?
I don't know if you're leading. First of all, Deshane is from a world where there's no magic and no like physical demons in that sense,
This is
in that
empty.
number. So, first of all, of course he's going to shoot you. He doesn't know you, and you're running towards him with an army of demons behind you. I don't
Correct,
know.
Ash
He
boy.
doesn't know.
100%.
No, Valisor's 100% a problem. He is the pull the trigger first, ask the questions later kind of person. And when he's
Well, so
asking
is
the
Deshane.
questions, he's the
That's the problem.
snap the limbs kind of person. He doesn't give you a second chance to answer a question he's asked once. He asks it, if you
Yeah,
don't
and
answer, he snaps a
Deshane-
leg.
Deshane is the type of person to put his hot gun barrel into the bullet hole that he just put into your leg in order to get the answers.
Yeah.
They're all very close to the same type of person. That's why they get along, because in another world, Valisor would be a gunslinger. So
Well,
in Deshane's eyes,
So I would make the argument that if Smasher gets too involved back with any of his memories from the war, that there might, if not an entire personality shift, like what was his personality like when he was commanding a ship? Like he was he was a killer. Like he was programmed to go out and destroy things at command. Like that was his entire idea. Like
it's a
complete
party
murder.
of murderers trying
Like,
to
straight
figure
up.
themselves out.
1,000%. Like
We're
what
all
kind
a
of
bunch of murderers, aren't we?
Yeah.
I only kill
Yeah,
not Fae, demons. Actually, no, that's
I
not
kill
true.
who I'm told
I kill
to.
anything that gets in my way.
Yeah, that's whatever prevents Deshane from getting to the tower will fall.
I think I've only ever gotten in combat because like things were attacking our group. I don't think I've ever just attacked something. Ever as
Many
Smasher.
times.
Yeah, you do all the time. It's fucking frustrating. But like I don't think I don't think Smasher has ever actually like I don't think he's ever just like gone and swung at something. Which is like I have another I like I said, I had another barbarian. Unfortunately he died. He would swing at anything. He swung at an old man who was being held hostage by demons because he wouldn't answer fast enough and made him piss himself, and then he threw him over a set of coffins and then left him there. So like
As you do.
I know what
As
it's
you
like
do.
to play that character, but Smasher has been very, very reserved. Like in general, like the only time he ever goes after anything is when he's just, Barbarian, when he's mad. Like he's mad for some reason and frustrated and there are things to kill. Let's fucking rage! Like that's how it be.
There are two great questions I want to get to.
Yeah, I've been trying to write them down as I see them so we
Yeah.
can get back to them.
I am going to very, very, very quickly grab a beer because it's a loose episode.
That answers my question. Mixie, we're going to start with your one first.
Yes.
With the anger?
Yeah, the rage.
Yeah. Yeah.
How's it affecting her ability to be a cleric, or do you think this will end up being some righteous anger spurring you to bring justice?
Her anger
This girl
is
on fire.
is the result of her not handling, not coping, not getting better. She has let some emotional damage fester. And she didn't get angry before. She would very much be that, like, I'm angry, but I'm gonna take 5 steps back and throw back some alcohol and party with the rest of my church, because that's what they did. The joys of being a part of the party church. This anger, I think you can almost even stem some of her anger to the disconnect from her god. The last time she talked to her god, she was begging her to save Callus's life. Saying she would do anything, was willing to sell her soul to her goddess. Or whatever answered her. There was a chance something might have answered her elsewhere. She was ready to do anything.
Warlock Mixie. Mass alignment shift.
Warlock Z.
So, and even then, like, that was like her first time reaching out to her goddess since walking into the mists. And her passing words, her final goodbye. And I might start posting some of the chats me and Vaughn have on the side. Like, because the whole thing with her and her god, I don't think actually happened.
No, it
via
didn't. Yeah,
words.
it was quiet.
Yeah, it was
Typed messages.
in types. So I might start posting some of those so you guys can get some of the fun tidbits. But her passing word was like, I'm pretty sure to survive and push forward, I'm going to have to step away from your path. Please forgive me. Closed door. I can tell you very easily, Mixie will not be taking any more levels in Cleric. She has taken her last Cleric level.
I think the only character who's not going to be multi-classing, maybe, is the good old gunslinger.
I get a lot of really good shit as a fighter. I get a lot of shit that I can stack, and that's like, I don't know. I've gotten like 3 different like subclasses to like suggestions. And I'm just like, oh man, but I get so many feats if I keep going because I rolled so high. And if I keep with fighter, I get so many feats. I get so many.
So many feats.
I don't think you could say Mixie's god was toxic. I think Mixie's good at hiding her problems. And where most of her problems stemmed from, her god probably didn't even know what was happening.
All that omniscience. Doesn't even know what's going on with their own.
Yeah.
Doesn't even know what's going on with her own god.
Yeah. You didn't know how much trauma you were going to cause Mixie when you decided to stop playing Callus. That was the...
Traumatized the rest of the party by that.
To be fair, that whole thing was planned from the beginning. Before we even started playing.
Yep.
Like, Callus was always going to be leaving the group.
Yep. Still for Mixie, though, like, she had a lid on her jar of, I have trauma and bad coping mechanisms, and this is all the bad stuff I don't want to handle. She had a nice little lid on it.
Oh, there's a certain thing that Deshane has been holding on to. A card very close to his chest that has yet to be revealed about like a callus and such. So that's a whole other emotional thing that he'll probably stash away because he knows how it will affect Mixie. So he'll just shove that back.
Yeah, no, Mixie's ultimate weakness, children. Like, you didn't even know.
This is the thing. That information will not only, it will completely change the way you look at my character and probably break the group. So that information is like back here.
I'm curious now.
Honestly, I think now would be one of the better times to approach Mixie with things because she's questioning everything.
Not with this. Not with this. Not with this one.
Well, I'm primarily curious because the entire backstory of Callus and everything that went into his development
It's okay. So
was
it's not.
written by me, and
It's
I'm
okay. So
at that point of like,
it's
wait,
not. Hold
what?
on. I'm gonna message you because it's not. It is and it isn't. I will message you what it is, so you know. Because I don't care if you know. I just don't want Faye and Smasher to know.
Okay.
Because it's you.
You
don't
wanna
know
make
much.
Oh, I
famous.
think I know what you're talking about now.
Syrinscape. Go check out
Sirenscape, everyone. It's a
Syrinscape.
beautiful thing.
Also,
It
I
is
made a
actually
dice
playing
jail.
right now.
What?
Oh,
Dice
nice.
jail,
Oh, I
yeah,
don't
Is
even
that
have.
cool?
I don't even have it up.
it's all
That's a
marbly and
fun,
stuff.
fun little
Take
dash
the-
jail.
Your
the top off.
your little dice jail has inspired a whole line of paintings that I'll be doing.
Oh.
Oh my.
Well. Then you're gonna love that guy when he comes off the printer in just a few minutes.
This is my dice jail. It's a jar that says traitor on it.
Anyway, ask more.
It's a
questions.
Sagittarius.
I typed this up.
That's
Well,
my
then, I
dice
mean,
jail.
the next question is really very much for you, Ski there. But I
Okay.
think I might have seen one for.
There's one for Smasher.
Yeah,
way
there's-
back.
It was
Where is that
how is
one?
Smasher feeling about his father now that he knows more?
Well, so at
Daddy?
the end of the day, like other people, like as far as player knowledge, other people know more about Cephas than I do. Like I know as much as you do at this point. The only thing I had that everyone didn't for a little while was that dream, and that was we were holding on to during his off period. But Valisor jacking in, we had and this is something Bon and I had talked about. When Valisor jacked in and wanted to see what was going on, I kind of was like, yeah, no, let's have him be the conduit for a second. That would be sweet. So that was something we actually ended up agreeing on, because I was going to go through and do like a whole I was thinking about doing a whole thing and like, how am I going to like piece this out? But as soon as you like jacked in, I'm like, no, this is perfect. Like he can kind of be a conduit, and I can be free to come back and be like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. Like, you know, like what's going on? You know, it was a great way to kind of play that. I am taking this from Smasher's position. I think Smasher feels
See your face as you read that. Continue.
it's
Smasher.
not like, well, so it's not like, I think he's still filling out feelings. I think Smasher is familiar with affection. I don't know that he really has a good grasp on the concept of like love and whatnot, especially since, like, you know, I'm not sure what kind of breeding habits Warforged have, but I'm sure it's not exactly, you know, exactly what we'd be used to with humans and whatnot. So
I
who knows?
imagine
But
like the film Robots, where they get
yes,
a build a baby
when they
box.
and the build, yes,
Yeah.
yes, sir, yes. I know that's canon now in my head. Yes, I agree with that. Yeah. So, but he's like, he's kind of understands what like basic things are, like what parents are and kids, and you guys have kind of introduced him, like calling him son and things like that, introduced him to the idea of like family members in a group setting, and he likes that with you guys. And when he heard Callus say that he was like, this is his father, it was like, oh well, that he just immediately, especially it was during a period of time when Smasher's brain was still kind of developing what's now his personality. I feel like in that moment, he had you guys as a group, and that was our core family unit, we'll call it. And when Callus was like, oh, well, you know, parents and dad, and he's your dad, immediately just the mathematical 1 + 1 was like, oh, well, that's family, right? Same thing. It's not, there's no difference. Family is family, right? You know, which is why he is so, which is why I think he's so like resistant against the idea of people saying bad things against him, and kind of neutral to the idea of like good and evil in the first place, is like people die all the time. You know, as a soldier, as a programmed soldier, I believe that like naturally Smasher, even if he like actually had like true feelings as a Warforged before like all of this happened to him, probably was pretty dead inside to the idea of killing people, because he killed people all the time, killed things, killed people all the time. So like it makes sense to him that from a soldier's perspective, that like, so he killed a bunch of people. Like, wars are fought all the time. What does right mean in the context of global war? Like, you know, so I feel like that's where he's coming from when he thinks of his father. So everybody having these vitriolic feelings towards him makes him like, well, like, okay, how many people have you killed? Because I know that you've killed people, and I know that you've killed people, and I know that you've killed people. Those people had families. Those people had friends. There were innocents that were hurt by what you did too. Like, it's not all apples to apples, but like when you live 1,000 years, 1,000,000 years, you know, can you match that scale? You know, so I feel like he's taking a very linear, logical approach to his father, which is why he has, again, early on, it was, this is family now, and now family is infighting. Because as far as he's concerned, Mixie and Deshane are in that same group as Cephas, like it or not, in his head.
It's gonna make it really awkward when we kill Cephas.
Yeah, fuck you guys. You guys are gonna fucking do it too. Yeah. Like, I mean, I don't get why you guys keep on, like, saying he's a bad guy and whatnot, because it sounds like we're on his side. And,
oh,
like...
100% mistake.
100% mistake.
Oh, I raged
Absolutely
so
mistake.
hard after last episode. When I hopped off, I was so pissed off. You had said we need to we can't work with Cephas at all. And Mixie had just kind of was like, okay, so Valisor did, and Smasher's really adamant about it. I can't be the bad guy in this, and did the olive branch thing, and you decide, I was pissed.
There's a reason for it. What's his face? He's Scarl.
Again, I don't know anything about Cephas. Like Cephas, you guys do.
I know very little about Cephas. Well, I know actually, so Cephas is very, very much like one of the main protagonists I've developed for my campaigns. He's almost... There's a lot of details that are the same. A lot. And Valisor knows all about that person, so every single thing he learns about Cephas is, oh yeah, no, that's familiar. Oh yeah, no, that's familiar. Oh yeah, no, that's familiar. And it was a situation of, we don't necessarily have to kill Cephas. I mean, there's a chance he could get redeemed. There's a chance what he's telling us is true. And then he learned he was a time traveler, and now it's, no, he needs to die. He's not allowed to do this. He can't do this. He needs to die.
Unconscionable.
I think time travel's bad.
I think
time travel,
that
100% banned, bad. Never do it.
I think that is going to be a big sticking point. If you guys, it really depends on how it plays out in the day and in character. Like I thought I was going to call the ball on what was going to happen and how a Smasher would react to things before, and completely was off the mark. Completely off the mark. Right, and you just never know how once the dice starts rolling, like how it's gonna end up landing. Right, you never know. But like,
you never know.
I think if it was just straight like Cephas comes in next episode and everybody attacks, I don't see any way around like straight turning on all of you. Like I just don't. I can't see. Like, it's not a fair fight, that many against one person, and, like, I know I have the ability to, like, think for myself and whatnot. I'm not programmed to protect him anymore, but I don't think that I wouldn't. I think that if everybody goes to attack him, as soon as we get back into the session next week, I think Smasher's going to have to go PvP.
It's
going to be interesting.
Deshane might hesitate a little bit pulling the trigger. Mixie Nix would, I think, would definitely hesitate at attacking back. But we all know good old Valisor, reliable to the T, wouldn't hesitate.
Oh, he's coming after
a bit.
Valisor Forest too. Coming after Valisor Forest too. He has a fucking bone to pick with you, motherfucker. He's actually grown to like you a bunch for a lot of reasons. Like, he's like bonded with you and whatnot. But like, he still has a bone to pick after fucking ringing a nat 20 on your ass and nothing happening.
Yeah, and you
Somebody
almost
should
killed
just
Deshane.
ask Deshane about like time travel and stuff. That way, I could just be like, "What's the big deal?"
It's bad. It's really, really bad.
And then I'll just explain that the closer we get to the tower, the more likely that is to happen. And then I'll just be like,
Cephas
Traveling
put
is cool.
his own nails. He did all the nails in the coffins for Mixie. He should have never told her about what his followers did. And how he ended them. Like, yeah, you ended them, but they were around for a long time, and sadly,
He could be lying. As
she
well,
doesn't
I mean,
know if he's...
He could also be in the situation of he's time traveled, so he's run into his followers, and he doesn't understand that they're following him, and he hasn't become a god yet. He could be
Like-
lying about that whole aspect. That's the whole issue with time travel. You never know what version you're getting. He could be a lying scumbag right now and is just using us to get what he wants.
And also, he's a god. Mixie knows a god could lie to her face, and she probably wouldn't even know. You know, so she's like, you had followers that her current hypothesis is that the followers of Lovatar are almost 100% similar to the followers of Cephas. Like
be the same.
everything. Like, he could have just been the Lovatar of his universe at this point. And that's kind of where he sits in her eyes. And you'll find out why Lovatar people are an instant, like, the two things Mixie has killed were both followers of Lovatar. Her killing blows. Minus the guy she healed and
Oh, that was good
Yeah.
times.
Eve 6 Inside Out starts playing in the background.
yeah, no, she obviously doesn't have a hold of her anger, and it's 1,000 times worse when there's a follower of Tar.
Deshane has the perfect logic argument against Valisor's time travel thing.
Sure, go for it.
Oh, how do you know that when you traveled through the door with us from Daggerfam to here that you didn't also travel through time? Because who's to say that the time in which you arrived here is the exact same as the time
It's a
in
fun
which
bit.
you left?
Here's the fun bit. He would actually be able to answer that question. He would genuinely be able to. But for reasons you don't know yet.
Okay, so I have
The
a
closer
question.
we get to the tower, the less those rules are going to matter. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I've already talked to Vaughn about this. The shakier your rules are going to get. So,
So I have a question for Murray and Ethan. I blessed a baby. I haven't caught up in Tales of Andrea. Has the blessing or the stuffed animal she's left you made an appearance?
the stuffed animal has made a verbal appearance. The blessing, but I'm pretty sure me and Murray are on the same page here. That's going to be a last minute in the pocket thing, you know? And I hope, because my character doesn't remember, I'd hope that you would also remind me, you know, at a point in time later on. That might be helpful. But I'm saving that thing for like something that I like, because I feel like that would be when Mixie's blessing is actually meant for, not something that that your Landriel wants, but something that he needs. And then that's what I'm saving it for. Is in the final moments, what will be probably life or death for my character is when I'm gonna call forth upon that blessing.
Yeah, I'm slowly catching up, so
Yeah.
I had to know.
Yeah, I've kind of been keeping that one in the. No, all these things have been so very basic and trivial in the long grand scheme of things. I'm waiting until they actually hit a point where, no, you really need this roll to go your way.
Yeah.
Or you really need this to go your way. If you
I'm
don't,
thinking
you're dead.
in the like final moments. By the way, for all of you who are on the Discord, Albarian, all social medias and Discords, I did the side A for the Eurlandriel's, mixtape. I'm making side B now. The final song is what I will imagine to be playing during the final moments of like my character, whether or not it's make or break. That's when that blessing will happen in my mind. That's when I think it'll happen. Thematically, if it were a movie, it'd be like right at the key moment of that song. You know what I mean?
Countdown. Yeah.
See, I don't want to reveal what the song is. It was recently on a video game, but it's got thematic ties. If you know what the final song, side A, you'll know kind of what it is.
Ain't no place for the wicked. Let's see.
Anyway,
that wasn't.
Do you guys want to go on break
before?
before we continue? We feel like we're hitting a
Yeah, I don't have any questions written down.
give or take
so
break point.
we don't. Why not? This is give or take a decent enough breaky point. Because it's a QnA, so that probably definitely not be going for the full 4 hours, especially with only 19 in our pocket.
All night
Long.
We'll be back in 10, everybody. You can actually hear all of us doing that during the commercials and the break. Don't forget to enter into that giveaway. There's Ashford.
Really?
So far, you're winning, buddy. But, turn us a minute here. Back in a jiff.
Identification number?
Searching for a wallet. Does he have a wallet?
No.
Tattoos on his wrists. Forearms.
Nope.
Yeah, this is TK421.
I knew it was coming.
Let me paint this picture for you so you understand this. The Queen has a flawless AR of 18 as well.
Oh my goodness.
So you got lucky just to hit her. Oh my god. And she has 1,000 total damage capacity, which means you outright killed her right away.
Kinda wanna do some vamps just so we can kill some things.
That red powder mist going everywhere. Cook shows back up in the normal world at 9 a.m.
Oh, that was fun.
Hey, hello again. Welcome to another episode of Nightbane, where we see who dies this week.
Hello, everybody. Hey, folks. Hello, folks. Hello, everybody.
It's like now I can't go a day without flossing. Like if I don't floss that morning, I'm like, people know. They know. I know. It's like,
no. This is dental hour.
Hell yeah.
Love, and I love it.
Build our home, searching every star, every world. And just when all hope seemed lost, message of a new discovery drew us to an unknown planet called Earth.
Larry's like, here's the thing. I don't mind a movie coming out and it not matching the book or the series or anything like at all. I'm saying this right to the camera. I enjoyed the live action The Avatar movie.
Oh no!
Yeah,
we have to
I
shut
said it
down right now. No! You need to just shut Streamlabs off. Unplug your. Nope.
Too late.
Hello and welcome to Hate, Laugh, Love, the show where we talk about movies.
Hello there. As a guest of the Owlbear Inn, you obviously have taste. Now, as a person of taste, have you ever thought to yourself, I need to watch an artist who also has taste, with a sense of classiness and intelligence, heightened by sitting in a leather armchair before a fireplace with shelves of books behind? Neither have I. Anyways, I happen to have an art channel called Michael How Arts here on Twitch if you want to check it out. There's drawing, chatting, and sometimes gaming. If you enjoy fantastic characters and comics, or just having someone to hang out with while doing art, you should give Michael How Arts a look-see. That's twitch.tv/Michael How Arts. And if you visit, maybe, just maybe, you'll occasionally have that artist sitting in front of a fireplace to give you a +1 for the richness and culture of your Twitch experience. Though I wouldn't count on that. But please, do stop on by. Thanks for your time, and have a wonderful day.
I'm Michael Howe, and I approve this message. Oh, you don't believe me? Well, I did this, and 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 this.
Hey, whoa.
Yes, good stuff.
Why
totally
am I
not dead.
so bad at this game? Jeez.
Might be genetics.
He deserves it.
What are you doing?
No,
Straightforward.
Straightforward. Now left. Now left.
Go to the left. Yeah.
Now
right
straightforward. Right in that nook. Right in that
Now
nook.
look up.
Now jump.
Jump up.
There we go. Good Christ. What was that? 15 minutes? Woo!
You're doing great. Great. Bring him up. Bring him up. Red. No, don't drop me. Whatever you do, don't drop me.
That is
My slimy mucus ball. I
think
think that's what that is. These are germs.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's mucus. That is snot. That is all over that bowling ball, folks.
Repulsive.
Oof. Everybody knows if it's green and it's slime,
You went that
it's
way.
booger time.
Such is the way. Did you get that in like? Do they have fortune cookies here?
Fortune cookie.
There are cookies,
That's a hard no.
and I found myself fortunate to eat them on occasion.
Oh. And I'll say, fear the dread pirate claw.
Your little satyr kids. The
Still
tail.
alive in 20 years.
Yeah, I mean, same.
Satyr tots.
Let's go talk to Brolog. I got some names.
Satyr tots.
Satyr tots.
Hashtag Satyr tots. I love that.
Hoogulapid. All right, well, Brolog will embrace my handhold and give him a little shoulder pat.
Okay, as we like take a few steps with our arms swinging back and forth, I'm gonna say out loud, Prologue, that's not what I meant.
Have you found my cheese? It slipped off my crackers.
Oh.
I still have my crackers though, thankfully.
I would ask a Joffrey about that.
Does he not know speaking to Aberrat. That there is no try. Do or do not.
Oh, Jesus.
No. Beautiful man.
If not, he will soon learn.
Closer to the camera. There you go.
Oh, baby Baba Luba.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Owlbear Inn, where we play TTRPGs and have a hoot. Howdy doody, everybody. Welcome back. We're here to stuff.
Lies.
Let's talk about how we could break our characters harder, Murray.
Oh
How could
my
we do
goodness.
that?
There are so many things I could do to continue breaking Callus. I mean, getting up to 33 AC, that's not broken. What are you talking about?
So I had a question. This is a question for a DM. Okay, so what if a gunslinger took the Sentinel feat?
Oh.
Considering I have Gunner and I don't take disadvantage at within 5 feet. You know what I mean? So, you get what I'm saying? Would it still become effective within close quarters if I took it? You know, if we all got like jammed up?
I mean, if
you're asking to...
So the big
Are you
use...
asking to take an attack of opportunity with your gun?
That's the big thing. That would be the big help is if you're within 5 feet and this person attacks one of your friends, you're getting an attack of opportunity against that person. And as a gunslinger, that's a lot of damage with an attack of opportunity. The downside is you're guaranteeing if you hit, that person is still going to be within 5 feet of you. So as a glass cannon, they could just flip their attention towards you. But that's where you want an artificer armorer on your side. Because if they're attacking the same person, they're imposing disadvantage for them attacking anyone else other than them. So this is why Valus was kind of sticking next to you a lot more. Is the people who are next to you, he's going to punch them, and they're going to have disadvantage at attacking you. And they have to attack him with a 28 AC and ability to cast shield.
So imagine if Smasher allowed me to ride him once again, and we went into combat.
I'm over here.
So in that sort of situation, the Sentinel feat would be gangbusters, because I am literally taking up the same space as Smasher. Okay, all right. Smasher, do you want to like have 2 cannons on you at one time, one in your chest and one on your back? because that will be the equivalent if we do this.
Okay. Okay.
Turning Smasher into a mount.
I, as a player, will allow this. I, as a player, allow this. But as payment, I want a touching moment between Deshane and Smasher. An honest-to-God touching moment. That is my payment. You figure out how to do that, and I will allow Smasher to, like, be like, okay, fine, you know. You, like be gross about it, mention Callus, like, you know, like things like that, really fucking twist the knife on me hard, and I bet you I would allow it. I bet you I would allow that. So I'm just letting you.
Speaking of me, right, I want Murray, when you make another edit of the commercials, you know, eventually, to put that moment in where where Smokey was like,
Hey.
this isn't going to happen again. And I was just like, yeah.
Find it and clip it. It'll
Okay,
make it
so
in, 'cause I make those
so
from
we
the
need
clips.
that, and then when after like I let this happen again, when I do let this happen again, inevitably we need the super clip of that clip, and then immediately hard cut to Deshane like doing it again like 3 more times in 3 different episodes.
Yeah. Kind of like the.
Shit, now
how
I'm gonna
the-
have to let it happen.
What is it? The Hate, Laugh, Love one starts. Evening, folks. Howdy, folks.
Evening, folks.
Hi,
Howdy, folks. Hello, everybody. It's almost the same exact introduction every time.
There is one question actually that we skipped over that I remembered.
Mhm.
Is Ethan, how is it playing a PC character who's met his other PC character in a different campaign?
Barely talk to
Yep,
them.
I accidentally crossed that
barely
one out.
talk to them. I didn't even like my character there was no like so little opportunity for my character to talk to their characters, considering all of the other emotional stuff that was going on. That it was just kind of like, meh, whatever, you know.
Could've
It
met
was
your own
cool.
parents.
Could have. Wait a minute. As if Galadriel hasn't met his own parents. Yeah. It was just one of those things of like, okay. That the reaction is in the commercial. It's me going, oh, get out of here.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, it was fun.
That was a fun moment to plan with Vaughn. Very fun moment.
What are we going to talk about for the next hour, folks? You know? I think it's us, Zelda, and and who else? He was
Lizard.
here earlier. Ash Void.
Lizard.
I want a cute little lizard.
I printed a lizard today. That's what I did. I think I'm gonna put him right next to Onyx. There's Onyx.
Mission accomplished for the day.
Honestly, I've actually done something with my day. I'm pretty happy.
What is your character's favorite childhood memory?
Oh.
Star Smasher.
I can answer that. No, I can answer that. I can totally answer.
You got to give me just like 1 minute to think about that. Because I'm technically playing a character that's not even mine, so I have to amalgamate two
You have to
things
remember
into
the
one.
lore.
Lore, and then also the amalgamation of my version of the character.
Well, so here's the thing: this is really easy for me to answer because I just played through Smasher's childhood, right? I literally just played through Smasher's childhood. So I would say that Smasher's favorite childhood memory would probably be it would have to be a battle. I would so my first thought was it would be riding into battle like with Callus up on his shoulder, and then like I think that during one of our last battles he like sprung board off and like launched out and then transformed midair into whatever and smashed, and then Smasher came in behind and was like, so I think like that was like the pinnacle of us like synergizing in battle. Right then we had worked so hard, you had Callus had maximized Smasher. We had adapted it so we could have this huge. I think that's like, as a player, one of the things that hurts a little bit is that we had worked so hard on synergizing these two characters so that they came out and were a tour de force. But like that was like the pinnacle of us going out and literally just wrecking house. I think I felt, and I feel like that would probably be like one of his best memories. Other than that, it would probably be one of the millions of times that he sat right next to Callus holding beakers, watching him tinker with his potions.
Oh, good old Callus.
Yes.
Always rely on for those things.
Mm-hmm.
I can very quickly say mine. Deshane and his 3 friends growing up, because this is a thing with Deshane that has happened many times, and it's always 3 other people in him. Jamie, Cuthbert, and Elaine, they like snuck out with guns and went like target shooting when they weren't supposed to, because that
hunting womp rats.
So
in Vegas Canyon.
Shots in Baker's exactly. So within the culture he was raised, so gunslingers are like actually knights in his world, technically. So guns are a weapon that you earn, not a weapon that you get. So like sneaking out with a weapon like that is a big thing. And it was also right before, so before him, his father was the youngest to become a gunslinger at 16. Deshane was 12. So at that moment where he became a gunslinger, his childhood pretty much ended. Because he went against his father's wishes to do that and did it. So he became a gunslinger. So he pretty much became in charge of his friends at that point. So the relationships changed. So yeah, that was like the last moment of him being a kid, you know?
Right.
Anyway.
Valasor, he has two favorite moments. First, when he met his wife, and the second, when his children were born.
Well, it's a childhood moment, but
wholesome.
Oh,
Wholesome.
well, if it's childhood, then just when his depends. Actually, really depends on how you define childhood. He's married as a magus at a young age.
Right, but
So-
I mean, unless they were having a kid when he was still a child. Like, I mean, that could technically. That's still. I mean, it depends on how you define that.
we
right?
we
Well,
as
I would
human
say,
beings
let's call it
in
culturally.
current.
Let's call it culturally.
Well,
let's call it culturally.
Let's also reflect on we as human beings consider childhood to end in medieval times at the age of 13. As soon as they could bear children, they were bearing children. But that's very much changed as time has gone by. So it really does
Right.
depend on a lot of circumstances and a lot of things and how you define child. Like in those
then-
kind of situations.
In Deshane's world, it's supposed to be 17, 18. You know, that is the mark moment of you either become a gunslinger or you're sent east, which is anyone who fails the test is extricated from pretty much the culture in this society. You know, if you're trying to become a gunslinger and you fail, you're no longer of his culture. So yeah, his childhood ending so soon is more marked in his culture than it would be in Valasor's. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But if you're gonna call like the earliest event, it would be meeting his wife. Think the moment in Up when the old guy character meets his wife or his future wife. Adventure is out there. Definitely
Yeah.
similar moments. Very similar.
It's never okay to bring up the opening scenes to Up. I'm just letting you know that
See,
now.
that's-
It's never okay. That's just emotional warfare.
I've been called a monster because of that movie.
Don't tell
That
me.
and Lion King. I didn't cry.
Lion King's one thing.
I don't either.
Whoever cries at Lion King is ridiculous. But if you don't go like up, like, at least a little bit, a little
bit
of a.
The thing is like, I have a real big problem with empathy in media that I consume. So like, I'm reading something. If there's something that pisses off that character, and I align with that character, I myself become angry. So, role-playing's been a lot of practice on that for me, trying to get better at separating, but I haven't been able to read a book because I'm happy when they're happy, I'm sad, and it happens with shows and movies, and I didn't watch Up when it first came out, so everybody told me there's a sad part at the very beginning. So I could be ready.
That will ruin the impact. Yeah, that will ruin
They didn't tell me what it was. They just said it starts sad.
It's specifically meant to be that way. You're supposed to go into Up cold.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That is the entire emotional anchor of that movie. Is the beginning part.
I will say that I knew it was going to be sad going in, but it was still like, I still watch that, and it's just as devastating as it was the first
I think
time.
it's just, I was successfully able to shut myself down for Up.
I think it also has to do with how the music hits you in that, because as soon as they get done with their childhood, there's no dialogue in the beginning of that. It's all the theme song of Up.
Yep.
We've turned into Hate, Laugh, Love here.
Devastating. Yeah, we have turned into
Hate, Laugh, Love here.
This Hate, Laugh, Love
every Friday. Not this Friday.
This is now just an advertisement for a Hate, Laugh, Love.
Similar commentary.
But yeah, no.
What would Mixie's mean?
Well, we could. It still has to do with like art pain, because I think
we're talking more about the
peers,
emotional issues.
Yeah, The best role players have empathy. They do. Like that's it. It is tied together. You can't do one without having an exorbitant amount of the other. In my opinion, you can't. You can't. The same thing with actors. Being an actor, being any sort of portraying somebody else, you have to have a well of emotion to do it, a well of empathy.
Right, but I would argue that it's not necessarily empathy. I struggle with empathy. It's something like the empathy that I know is something much like Faye's, like learned. It's something that I struggle with normally, but something that affects me massively is sympathy. I am a very sympathetic person. When I can't watch people like have shoulders dislocated. Like I just can't watch it.
Nope.
Like I've dislocated them so many times. I just can't watch that kind of pain happen. But like if I see but ask me to not be logical. Ask me to naturally just see things from your point of view and get why you're feeling the way you're doing. Like that's not natural for me. Something that took a long time for me to step back and actually open my eyes and pay attention.
Yeah, I have the opposite problem. I will cry at whatever movie if it hits perfectly correct, it's going to happen.
Inside Out is the one that got me.
Oh, dude, fuck.
Inside Out,
That's a good
that
one.
was the redeeming
It's one of those
feature.
that's like,
Which probably should, but I haven't seen it.
It's one of those.
It's good.
But to get back to what I was saying,
Sorry.
The way I was no worries. I think it's just the way I was raised. I'm so much like my mom, and me and my mom have empathy to the point where we have to dial it down, because if we don't, we can become emotionally taxed. And people are always like, I'm an empath. I never say that fucking shit. I have empathy. Yeah, it's fucking exhausting. That's what it's meant to be that way, right? But yeah, I think that has helped me out so much in the process of learning how to RP in D&D, because Murray knows how long I've been doing D&D. It's probably about as long as Smash has been doing it. But like, RPing is the thing that I like slotted into really easy. But then the mechanics of D&D took me like a year to figure out. But I was slotted into RPing. I was like, let's fucking do this.
So
You
I
know?
think I fell right into RPing for other reasons, because whereas you like you grew up with your mother and very empathic. Like I grew up around my mother a lot, who's very empathic, but like most of the time I spent was with my father, who's very emotionally vacant. Right? I mean, from the age of 10 on, I pretty much spent any time I wasn't at school with him at work, because he owned his own business and I was working. Right? So like I spent almost all of my free time for years and years and years and years that way, which is probably why I had issues with that, because it's not something I was ever trained for, you know. Those things aside, I had to learn. It's something I realized at a young age that I both lacked, and that was a problem. It was a problem that I lacked that. So I started working really, really hard on it. So like even from a younger age, I was doing forms of entertainment, whether it was playing in a band. I've been a performing magician for a number of years, doing street magic, fire eating, things like that. And small things, I've gone out and like pursued the ability to like interact with people and try to empathize and read the room so that I can give back what I need in a performance. And I think like that's why I jive so quickly into D&D, is because I was already doing entertainment in other facets and putting myself in those places. So you're like, okay, so like character acting shit, like I'm a slightly different character when I'm playing the person who's eating fire and being all like dramatic and twirling fire around, versus the guy who is making bad fart jokes and dad jokes while playing with a deck of cards, because I'm just doing card tricks. Like it's two different people.
I love dad
So
jokes.
ask me to be a female Aarakocra artificer armorer that's super stuck up and in Barovia, having a bad time, and I can go, oh, dude, man, you're singing to the choir. Let's I can have a bad time all day long. Yeah. All right, we're there. We're there. We're feeling it. You know.
Yeah, I have the issue of, sorry to interrupt, but my girlfriend loves cringe humor, right? She fucking loves cringe humor. My palms get sweaty. Like I start to get like I have to leave the room because my empathy is so tuned in to embarrassing public things that I'm just. She's looking at me right now. My girlfriend's just standing there looking, talking shit. They're saying hi to you, by the way. Anyway, bye.
I'm the exact same way. I can't do it. I cannot.
No, I don't like reality TV. I know that you love reality TV.
He's getting called out.
Me personally, super.
I love it until I don't love it. You know, I love it until I don't love it.
See,
this is the thing. I do love to a point,
and
then it gets too far, and I'm like,
Explain the reality like below deck.
They can barely hear you.
He has to explain like the type of reality, like hi. It's like below deck because it's white trash people.
Yes, white trash is always delicious.
But he can't do like Real Housewives because it's like rich white people acting stupid, and he just doesn't like that.
Because it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing in a disconnected from reality way that makes me go like,
gosh.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Okay, I added my 2 cents. I'm gonna take off now.
Okay.
See ya. Ethan's girlfriend, everyone. Lovely person.
Yes. Anyway.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, I can't do it at all. Like can't really claim any comedy movies that I like because so many that have come out in the last 10 years has just been torture, pure and utter emotional torture for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to.
I'm so glad somebody else understands that.
I used to work as a CNA, so I've been desensitized to all of that. It's just like, alright, well, once you've wiped enough old people's butts, you'll understand.
So no, I was
a caregiver. But
I do not equate those two things. So this is my thing, right?
Not cringe.
Embarrassing in that way is not actually embarrassing. It's embarrassing in the constructed viewpoint of the way we like view society. I know that sounds really fucking.
No,
that's exactly what it is. That kind of stuff isn't. Go ahead. What was it? Oh, is she here?
Yeah.
Drow just she's here.
Drow just dropped a question. What is going to come of all the homoerotic tension between Valisor and Deshane?
Oh, they're gonna fuck.
I mean, Deshane doesn't even know what homoerotic means. 'Cause in his land, it's a little bit more freer, a little bit more looser than that, you know.
Yeah, Deshane's about to be the one who's looser.
Married, he's got kids. That ain't gonna happen.
I thought they're all dead. You can move on. It's fine.
Dead. They are all dead. But his mission is now to join them.
So take one. Okay, well you can take one while joining them.
Not in his mindset.
Oh, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Use the body when he's done with it, Deshane. Use the body when he's done with it. It's fine. He doesn't care about it anyway.
Use the body.
That's necrophilia. That's a whole different playing field.
I mean, yeah.
You don't even know if all the things are still down there, or if everything's still working down there. I mean,
he's
for all
mostly
you know,
metal. It'll be fine.
There's a whole
If there's a hole, there's a goal. It's fine.
30%.
There's an Avenged Sevenfold song about all this.
If there's a hole, there's a goal. That's fair.
Hashtag
necrophilia.
Any port in the storm. Hashtag any port in the storm. You know.
Any port. Oh wow.
Any port in the storm.
Mixasaur for the win, apparently.
Mixasaur. I that makes me feel uncomfortable. That makes me feel uncomfortable.
This is mommy's special friend.
I started
Valisor.
You did start that.
Oh god. Oh god, Uncle Val. I'm not calling you Uncle Valisor. It's not happening.
No.
You're not gonna be. You'll never be my real Deshane.
Valisor looks at Mixie Nix more as a
my
daughter.
real Deshane.
Mainly because Mixie Nix is not even a 10th of his age. And also because she reminds him of his daughter.
How old is Mixie?
As far as player as far as
Mixie does.
As far as Mixie and audience and you guys know, she knows she's older than 28, but she remembers 28 years. So she just said 28.
Right. Because there's that ambiguity there. That's right.
Yeah.
So you don't know that.
Ages.
You can't say that, Valisor.
No, I can't.
Valisor, how old are you?
So we're gonna roll back real quick.
I can 100% safely say that Mixie Nix is not even a 10th of Valisor's age. Valisor is over 350 years old. So yeah.
I think I might be older. Okay, here's the down low. Time doesn't work the same in Deshane's world. Because so many beams have fallen, time and space work differently. They become stretched and like rubber bands, and then they can snap back at any point in time depending on where you are. So it gets complicated and weird, but if we go to his world and we interact with people, they will be confused. They will say like, but Gilead fell like a millennia ago. But to Deshane, that was not that long ago. So his age is
time
this
travel.
Amorphous.
It's just time travel, and it's disgusting.
But there is also other shit involved. It's disgusting. Yeah.
If it's good enough for Doctor Who,
not gonna like
the
where
mini
I come
Doctor Who, it's
from.
good
Your
enough for us.
character's not gonna like it. There's a bunch of fucked up timey-wimey stuff going on.
So, to answer the question that started all of this, Mixie's favorite childhood memory is being found in a forest.
Oh yeah. Oh god. That was
We were talking about
That was a
that
train.
30 minutes ago.
What?
Yeah, we were. We never actually
no.
answered Mixie's. It just
Yeah.
bunny
No.
trailed. We bunny trailed.
Yeah, no.
So
Yeah, no.
Last love, everybody.
Considering she'll consider her early memory years her childhood, despite knowing there's been no physical growth in any of the 28 years she's been there. It would definitely probably be when she was officially titled priestess.
Huh. Huh.
Anyway,
I think we have age problems. We're all playing characters with age problems.
Oh yeah.
Because if you
I
ask
don't
Velsa
actually
here-
know how old I am.
if you guys even
That's what
remotely
we like.
understood the amount of confusion Deshane is under at all times, like he doesn't show it, but the amount of sheer confusion at these other worlds he's seeing and all this stuff is just okay.
That's why he
just
takes
keeps-
everything in
he
stride
keeps
so
going.
well.
Yeah,
is
he
it
just keeps
is,
going.
It's all weird to him. It's all equal levels of, oh my god, I can't believe this is what's in front of me. So he's just like, well, I mean, this is just one more thing that is just super weird on top of the fucking mountain of weird shit. So cool, I guess this is a thing now here too. What's the next thing that's going to be a thing here now too?
This is the other thing. Mixie knows this, is the only character who actually knows this. Because of the whole Man in Black situation. At any given point of time, Deshane doesn't actually know what's reality and what isn't. And that for quite a long period of time in his life before coming here, he didn't trust anything he saw. And he still kind of doesn't. So his latch on to reality and sanity is tenuous at best at any given point in time because of everything weird that has constantly happened, that he's just kind of anything could be fake, it could all be a lie, it could all be truth, this could all be actually happening to me, or I could just wake up tomorrow and this could all be some fucking vision of something. This
is all just
he's
one bad
constantly
nightmare.
yeah, exactly. Imagine
Life is a lie. Everything is the Matrix.
The best way to imagine Deshane's psyche, even though you can't see it physically, is that he's hanging on a cliff by a pinky. And he's been doing that for years.
He's the cat hanging from the coat.
Yeah, just hang on. Yes,
driving.
exactly.
Hang in there, buddy. You can have cheeseburger.
Exactly.
Deshane's never gonna get that cheeseburger though.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Definitely not. There's no way in hell anybody's ever gonna let that happen. Definitely not Vaughn. Vaughn will never let him have the cheeseburger.
Have the
Also, I'll
cheeseburger.
cook you one, but we'll probably get assaulted by demons as soon as I start trying to cook you one.
I do like salt.
Salt.
Any more questions from the chat or the group? Oh, excuse me.
Oh my goodness. There's the crazy robot. No, actually, Smasher has answered a lot of questions I had for Smasher, which was basically Smasher. What the fuck is up with that?
Yeah.
So it's a very similar your Laundriel situation. You wanted to play a character and just gave it to the DM. It's like,
yeah,
this is the character. This is the small amount of story I've written for the character. Take the rest.
Almost none. Almost none. Seriously, the talk that I had with Vaughn is I built the character out and started doing build it. I had the idea. I had the idea for this character while actually playing another campaign, and somebody was trying to push at me to be a wild magic barbarian in that campaign, and I ended up not. But when this came up, I was building Smasher out and just kind of filled him out, and you think I was not some of you guys really have pushed the envelopes on what you can do with a character. If you would have seen my first original roll for Smasher, he was like, I think his highest roll was like 12.
Oh, gross.
And everything else was like it was in that area, but it was like, I think the lowest one was like 7. And Vaughn and I had a discussion. He's like, okay, this is what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to have you re-roll it, but here's some new rules because that was fucking garbage. So we re-rolled them, and I'm like, okay, so we got something I could work with, and I kind of built him out and started probing Vaughn for his world. And the more we talked about it, the more I was like, you know what, Vaughn? Like, it seems you're almost more excited about this character than I am at this point. And like, because he had the idea of tying it to Cephas and whatnot, and I was like, do you want to just like I'll come into this not knowing anything, and you want to just like feed me crumbs as we go, and we'll see how it goes. And like he lit right up, and I'm going, all right, well, sweet, my job's fucking done here. Character built. I'm gonna go ahead and go watch some anime. It'll be fine. And like that's kind of where we got to. Like I had the concept, and I built the concept of kind of him, and then we kind of put his backstory just the slightest bit together. And so I knew going in, I knew Cephas, and I knew like some things about the runes and whatnot. And I knew that that's what was on my side. I knew that that was my name, but like I almost knew nothing else, guys. Like, I seriously walked in. When I walked in on that first day, it was very much like that fucking doe in the headlights look that I had on me during that first session was an honest to God me doe in the headlights. Like, I don't have anything. I don't have anything prepped. We're just going to see what happens. It'll be fine. Maybe. And yeah, so I mean, it's worked out, but yeah, it's been good. It's been really good. Yeah, unfortunately, most of my answers is I don't fucking know. Ask Vaughn.
That's actually what I thought. Like, as things have been progressing, it was like, I don't think that Smokey actually has anything. I think it was just a concept for a character and then handed it to Vaughn to play with. And it's...
Yeah,
Fan.
1,000%. That's how we've gotten here. I've
candy
let Vaughn.
For a DM. It's candy.
That's what I did for you.
Yeah,
sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
With the Ulundriel.
No, absolutely. It was just because like my first campaign ever, I worked really hard with my DM to build my character and like build out the world and build his backstory. I mean, we talked for months, I think, before we actually started that campaign. Like we worked, like it was my first campaign, and like it took a while to convince him to like run like my first campaign for us in the house and whatnot during Corona. And we all worked on our characters for a while before we finally sat down and like, okay, no, let's do this. He built this entire custom world. It was like he's built this whole custom backstory. This is a game that we started back in October, I think, of last year. November of last year, and play every Saturday night have for the last year. But he completely custom built everything from the ground up. He's custom built all of like to the weapons. Like he's custom brought in like old 3.5 stuff and redone it. Like he's done so much work for it. So it took a little while to actually get to. But like we worked really hard on it. So it was kind of a jarring experience going from working super hard to get the deep backstory and to know where this character is and have the motivation to go in DM, what's my motivation here? Help me out. Okay, we're good.
Fine.
Okay, I'm depressed right now. I'm so depressed. You know, like that's more or less like, what's my cue? Okay.
I think it's the exact opposite when you get to... Well, we know it's 100% the exact opposite when you go to Shane's character, because Shane's developed character inside the existing series.
Right.
The thing I will say is I was like, I told Vaughn in the beginning, I was like, I've got the character. I've got all of his backstory and shit down. I was like, I will tell you what you need to know, but I think I said this verbally to him. I know how your brother's brain works, and if your brain works the same, it's gonna line up no matter what. So I was just like, let's keep going. And then guess what? The last like 3 episodes, Teen Demons, and I was just like, these motherfuckers have not had thought in their head. In the best way, because I love it so much. You know what I mean? It's like it is original. Like the details are talking shit about you and both of your ideas for like campaigns. Like you keep. It's like you've read the same shit that I've read. You know, in some form or shape. So we just like our storytelling just lines up perfectly, and I love it so much. Like without us even trying sometimes. We're like, yeah, that works perfectly. That's exactly what I was thinking. Let's go. And it's the best.
But then there's also wrong way. There we go. Mixie Nix, who was a pre-existing character before.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
2020 started a campaign. COVID, it fell apart. Never got to. I really liked Mixie as a character, and I wanted to like explore her. Like, she kind of just happened. A friend was like, "Hey, we need a player," and I'm like, "Okay, sure." And not only did she just kind of fall together as a concept, but like I'm like, what does she look like? And I can sketch. I can do some art. I'm not fantastic, but I can do art. And like I drew out a portrait of her face, and it's probably to this day still my proudest piece I've ever done is of her head. And like she just kind of fell together so naturally, and I'm like, I wanted to explore her more. And if I continued her in her old campaign, she would have been vastly different.
Different paths. Different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Different strokes for different folks.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, what shapes any of us is our environment, and that's not just like the places we go; it's the people we interact with, people we include in our lives. That's all our environment. That's going to shape every thought in your head, the way you think about things, the way you know things. Like, so, like, it makes sense that Mixie would go two vastly different ways in two very vastly separate campaign settings with different players.
Oh, absolutely. The other party was we had a Fey warlock, like he was like a tiefling Fey kind of thing, warlock. We had a werewolf, tiger dwarf barbarian.
Ooh.
We had a ranger.
Adorable.
A pixie ranger that rode a corgi.
It's adorable too.
And like it was just pure chaos. And we also
Mixie, and then you have Mixie, who's pure chaos in that party. I can see how that would have been. That would have been a party and a half. That campaign would have been a riot.
Oh, it was a riot. She met them. They were traveling on a moving house pulled by horses. That's how she got introduced to the party. When we ended up falling apart, we had moved the house on top of a giant crab, which we had.
Voice changer.
Yeah, we had it had its arm cut off. We found its arm, reattached it, but while we were trying to find its arm, the Pip is also a reoccurring character.
Yeah.
Pip was originally just a mimic she found in a haunted house when she met the party. So Pip's character arc is completely different already. But like Pip was this giant crab's arm for like 3 weeks while we tried to find a proper replacement. But like she was the mom of that party too, which is really funny. For as aggravating and shit she gives you all for being edgelords, that pixie drew her up a wall. Like the whole campaign idea was there was this plague and we were supposed to be trying to cure it, and Mixie goes, it's from a land where this plague wasn't, so she goes and she's like investigating the sick house, and the pixie's there, and this kid was sick with the plague, and the lie the pixie said was she cast dazzling lights on the child so they would have some peace when they went to bed. The kid fell out the fucking window and died. And died.
Nice.
You can imagine how that went with Mixie. Mixie goes out there. She's a cleric. She was a high enough level to like revive this kid, and the kid didn't have the plague anymore.
Kill everyone and then raise him from the dead.
That's one way. But this pixie went on to go, like, was just boasting to the party and to anybody that would listen how she cured the plague. And Mixie was just like, you killed a child.
A silver lining.
Right, yeah, no, sure. So, like, the timeline of which Mixie went to join that party, she had more time to adjust to her life as a Scarlet Mummer. I talked it over with Vaughn when I was like, hey, I want to bring her back. I wrote a little, like, she used to keep a journal. And I used to, like, legitimately, like, write journal entries after sessions. You can tell when it started to fall apart for me because, like, I'm like, I know we have sessions and I don't have entries anymore. But COVID, forgive me, I'm sorry. But we she had only been with the Mummers like 3 years in this campaign, where she was a fully adjusted, like, yes, I am a soldier now. I am an assassin now. I get it. Okay, I'm cool with it. Where Mixie has yet to come to terms with it in this campaign. Most of that's due to the tone that we're trying to set. Like, the other campaign was supposed to be more lighthearted and, like, fun, because we were dealing with a plague during COVID. So, they're fun and, like, into the nightmare. Okay, no, we're just going to shove Mixie when she's most vulnerable into this nightmare. Yep. So, basically, Mixie was with the Scarlet Mummers for 3 years, so she basically went from being a priestess for 25 years of her existence, having the most traumatic experience of her life, and the result of that experience being told, you now have to be an assassin. And she goes to be an assassin, and she refused to pick up a weapon. She's like, I don't want to kill people. I'm here as a punishment. I get that. I've got my shield, and that's what you're getting from me.
Poison.
Shield and my healing. So.
Well, we all know your healing can kill people. So that's all we need.
Yeah.
Can
apparently.
avoid death no matter what you do.
Everybody's gonna kill somebody. Oops. Might as well be you.
Mixie's kill count is probably higher than anybody thinks.
Well,
we're all like mass murderers. Every single one of us are murderers, like mass murderers, and like
Yeah,
like,
every
really
single
bad.
one of us. Yeah.
Like hardcore killed lots of people, like lots of people. Like I used big machines to kill lots of people at one point, like lots of people. I might have a larger kill count than the rest of you if you consider like me in a large plane, like that's my kill count as our kill count, then like
I
I may have caused genocide. Like I'm pretty sure that's what we were trying to do at the time was cause genocide. So like if any of us like as a murderer, like I'm pretty sure like I committed genocide at one point, at least once in my existence.
Do repeats count?
Do
repeats count?
Same person twice?
Because when demons are killed, they're not actually killed. They just die
They go
inside the
back
plane they're in,
and
and they go back, and then they come back again.
It's got to be
in a
permanent.
whole different body. In that case,
Gotta be permanent.
Callus never killed anyone.
Okay, well, you've killed plenty of demons, though. That still counts as like a demon roster.
Oh
but
yes,
not
no,
like
but they
a
come right back.
being.
So by your statement, doesn't count.
Either way, folks, we're all murderers.
Okay, so Valisor doesn't have a soul count, he's got a body count.
Yeah, I have a body count.
Yes.
I have a large body count. I've also been
have
killed
both.
multiple times by them, so, you know, it happens.
And the way you're talking, Mixie's probably killed less people than you now expect her to have killed. Mass murder. No.
We're all mass
man.
murderers at the end of the day.
It's fine.
It's probably goes like Mixie, me, if we go body count, Valisor, and then Smasher's got us by like genocidal numbers.
Way up there. You gotta bump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers.
Rookie numbers.
Rookie numbers.
You know,
Most
I have
bloods
like
on my end right
war
now.
numbers. Mixie has assassination numbers. You have but Smasher has genocidal numbers.
That's
Those are
right.
two completely
It's level.
different.
It's just levels to things. It's just levels to things, man.
I can't wait till we start going over this so I can start telling actual details. So you're like, oh, I have words. I have.
Can we explore someone else's story, please?
Yeah.
We got nothing for Valisor to work on, and you're all like, oh, let's go down Valisor's path. And it's like, no, we got nothing for that. We have shit for Smasher. We have shit
My
for
shit is endgame.
Deshane.
My shit is
We have shit
endgame.
for
My
Mixie.
shit is
no,
endgame.
Deshane, that's the thing, is like, admittedly, the main character is Deshane. Like, let's face this. The main character of this entire
We're going through the Dark
Deshane.
Towers.
It's because it's the journey to the Dark Tower, and all of this is just part of the journey to the Dark Tower, which is Deshane's entire gig, right? We are B-side daily stuff. He is A-side.
I'm
of
the
every
beat that keeps
episode.
us going forward. You guys are the flavor that comes in. You know, I'm the bass.
We're the daily-
I'm the
we're
bass
daily
or the
flavor.
drums. You know, and you guys are like vocals and
banjo.
guitar and
banjo.
If no original party member survives, and we keep on revolving party members, if nobody else survives, Deshane should be the one to constantly be there, and it should reinforce his fact that every single person that he comes in contact and joins the party dies. Yeah. We should be reinforcing that.
Ultimately-
In fact, we should kill all of our characters
to reinforce.
just to reinforce that for Deshane, because we wouldn't want him to feel worse.
Hey,
or
guess
bad
what?
or
Guess
whatever.
what? I already did it.
Hey, you worked on it. No, you relieved some of that because you didn't kill him. You got him away.
No, I'm talking about Valisor. I've already done it. He's
Oh,
already
yeah.
died multiple times.
Yeah, but but by his standards, you didn't die because he came back, right?
Oh, so it has
that
to
was-
be permanent. Yeah, the
that's
only way
because
to
you
do
would
that
be-
is to
again,
kill
body
Hoor.
count.
Hoor,
That was
who's
like-
keeping him alive. So, if you want to kill a god, you can kill Valisor.
The problem is that the people working against me are themselves equivalent to gods. They are far older
Yeah.
than some of the gods in these other. So
I am legitimately worried for as our party's going now. I am legitimately worried for the day this campaign and the other campaign Vaughn's running in this world collide.
It's like when worlds
We've
Yeah.
we've already had a few
like when worlds
collisions,
collide.
and I've already had to basically send Hebbish messages of like, why would you do this to us?
Oh. Me and Hebbish have words. He knows. I love Hebbish. You're great.
Hebbish, you're a wonderful human being.
Stop it. Stop making me try to want to kill myself. It's not okay for my mental health.
Talking about characters.
We should probably
totally
Yes.
characters.
We should probably do last questions. What do you guys think?
Last
Round off.
round, anybody
Last
got
round.
Last
anything?
round off.
Yeah, let's give it a couple minutes here. We'll kill some time. Maybe we'll get a question in the chat. And maybe by killing some time, we'll figure out a question ourselves. So, Syrinscape, folks, for all your tabletop RPG needs. Follow us on all social medias, the Albarian. Join us on Discord. Tip us. We have merch, folks.
We do.
Get Yolandriel's face, which is kind of sort of my face, on a pillow, if you guys wish. Eventually, my face on a pillow. We're still working on that, folks. Keep an eye out.
You don't need that
He's
in
still
your life.
pitching it to me every single day.
I'm still
He's like, hey,
pitching it.
so when are we doing this?
That's negativity. We don't need that in our life. You don't need it in your life. Why would you do that to yourself?
I'm working on trying to find
I'm not
someone
talking
who
to you,
can
Ethan.
sew
I'm talking to them.
an
I'm talking to the audience.
An exact replica shape of your entire body, and then finding a manufacturer who can create the pillow to fit inside said pillowcase.
You don't want my actual body. Well, let's put a fake six-pack body on, because I've got this weird rib thing where my ribs on this side kind of like stick out a little bit. It's something that happened when I think I broke a rib at some point, but
join the club.
Dutch
it's bony. It's not comfortable.
We 1000% Dutch wife Ethan, man. Just like you see the Japanese hug pillows that are just the body pillow with like dressed like this, but like risque like that on the back.
Paint me like one of your French girls.
We need Deshane. We're not Deshane. Sorry, we need Ethan straight up like in sweats like that, like this, and then on back with just boxers, but like doing the whole like what is it, the sunbathing thing?
Yeah, the
Oh my.
I personally will pay to commission the photography for that.
I'm a photographer.
I will
I'll
pay
do it
for
for
that.
myself.
I will make sure I will pay for whatever it takes to make sure that gets on our merch store.
Oh my
I will put
gosh.
money into that.
That
I'm
needs
just
to
saying.
happen. All right, I have a question, and
Yes.
it's not particularly pertain to our characters. What do you want to play next? What
I know this. I know this.
What class and race?
I already have my next character picked out.
So do I. We'll start with you, Smokey.
Okay, so another campaign that I'm working with is through my Saturday, my DM who made my first campaign. We are working on another world set in Eberron that myself and two other players, actually one other player is my Sunday Strahd DM, and then another player is a player I play like all my campaigns with. But us three had spent lots of time like building our characters and have them all set up. We have for a while. We've already session zeroed. We're planning on, we just need a better place to set up and actually session because they're going to be recorded and then post-edited, unlike these, which are live. So I'm going to be doing like a bunch of post-editing and have camera work and whatnot. So we're working on that. But I have that coming up, and I have already built my character for that. His name is Cass. He is an Aarakocra Bard of Eloquence. He's currently set up right now. With his stats, the way he rolled, because of his Bard of Eloquence, he is he has a minimum persuasion and minimum intimidation. I think it's persuasion and intimidation. But he had persuasion and deception. He has a minimum persuasion and a minimum deception roll of 18. If he rolls less than 10, he automatically hits 18. Period. Because of the way a College of Eloquence rolls, right?
Yeah.
And then on top of that, our DM gave us a choice for starting gear of either simple, like a bunch of like simple gear where you get like money and whatnot, less money, but like you get a couple of like nicer items, or you can forego anything except for one high-end like artifact or something. So I naturally chose the high-end item. So my bard has the illusionary gauntlets starting out, which, if you're not familiar with illusionary gauntlets, if you cast a cantrip that you can direct at a target with illusionary gauntlets, as soon as you cast it, you can cast it immediately again. So he has Firebolt at his level starting out and immediately can twin Firebolt right out the gate at any time, which is absolutely awesome and devastating. We went through session zeroed, and I absolutely destroyed my session zero way beyond what he expected, because he set roadblocks up me at every turn, and he did not expect me to basically get the people who were my roadblocks to go fight my competitor instead, and like just smoke the entire competition. So like I'm so eager to get this. He's like kind of a Newsies like attitude Aarakocra bard in Eberron, where resurrection is just a payment away. So we have literally resurrection life insurance. Oh, you get killed? All right, well I paid my life insurance this month, so like I paid the lower end, so they come out and 5 days. They'll find me in 5 days and they'll arrest me. But no, I got the high-end insurance because I'm going on this job. If I go down, they're gonna come get me in 24 hours. They'll have me back up. Like, life is literally that meaningless at this point. So it's such an interesting campaign setting, and putting this gruff kind of like small Aarakocra who's a cockatiel. So he's pure white, but he has they have dragon marks in Eberron, right? So he has the aberrant dragon mark, which every time he uses turns his feathers red. Starts slowly turning, because cockatiels have the red starts forming. So it slowly is just building the blood red across his head and whatnot. So I'm really interested to see where that entire campaign goes. I'm so excited for it.
So you're gonna be the edgelord.
Edgelord. Of the group, I'm probably going to be the big edgelord. So that's going to be my turn.
Your turn. Mixie, you're
Who next?
Me?
Mixie.
Mixie. Let's go clockwise, shall we?
Okay. I have a character planned out. Finer details for it will be yeah, that's what I was asking.
Yeah. I don't look at our overlay thing. I'm looking at the stream overlay constantly, so.
The way I have it set up is if I look at Discord, my camera's there, so it looks like I'm kind of looking at the camera when I look at the Discord. It's going to be an Earth Genasi barbarian, Herald of the Storms.
Oh my gosh, yes. I want to see that.
She is going to be, her name is Harena, which is some other language for sand. She's part of a group of triplets, her mother being the Earth Genasi, raised by a human father. Around the age of 13, all three of them suddenly develop fire abilities.
Ooh.
So she's sparring with one of her brothers one day. He grabs her hand. He goes up in flames. Her hand is glass.
Cooked dinner.
Her hand is glass.
Ooh.
Dinner.
He ends up, that one ends up being an elemental monk of the four elements. The other brother ends up being a druid of wildfire. And she's the storm she's gonna be a desert storm herald. And hoping with whoever the DM is when she rages, she's gonna trade out her bludgeoning resistance for acid resistance, because glass is resistant to acids, but not so good against bludgeoning. And so when she raises and the fire aura kicks, she becomes complete glass.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I thought this character up and I'm like, I just need to find a DM who's willing to bend some of those rules with me, and if I don't find a DM, I'm gonna start writing. I'm gonna start writing their story. Because I already know why all three of them have fire powers. The tragic backstory TM goes to Mom. Not the characters this time.
It's always mommy issues.
They don't have issues with Mom. Her mom has issues.
Folks, you know that I am partial, if you've been watching the channel for a while, to martial classes. I fucking don't like being a cleric sometimes. I really, really don't. I've always slightly despised casters. Paladins are the best, though. They're like that best middle ground. Paladins for life. Anyway, I think I'm gonna do a monk next, but here's the hook. Here's the hook, okay? I've already spoken with Murray about this. I want to play a character that does not know that he is actually a robot.
Yeah.
That is fully and completely unaware of that fact. he's just slightly better than everyone else, like almost supernaturally better, you know. But I want it to, because this is where the rule bending is going to also have to come in for my character, because it's not a Warforged per se, because it will have organic. I'm thinking like Terminator, you know, organic flesh on top that is still part of the, you know, the endoskeleton, you know. So healing still does work, but it does not fix the inner component. So there's going to be some weird rule bending with this, you know. Yeah,
Simic hybrid.
Homebrew yes.
Based off of a Simic hybrid.
Yes, very close. I want to have the same type of resistance that a barbarian, like piercing and slashing, you know.
Oh yeah.
Because of the endoskeleton, but I want it to work more closely to an organic being when it comes to some of the like other things, because it's that somewhere it's a cyborg, technically, you know, given an actual technical definition. But yeah, I love the idea of someone that doesn't because the memories have been implanted, so they're real to him. You know, everything that happened to him is real. But is it? You know, like where does it, like the line between reality, the implanted memories, and, you know?
It ends when you have robot legs. There. Are we done? Are we done?
Are we done? But I also want it to be a reveal, which is kind of shitty that I'm revealing it here to the players that I'm with. So this is going to be a down the line character. I want it to be enough time to where people forget. Yeah, exactly.
Well,
that's too late now.
They're looking at the character like, is this the one? Is this the one? Is this the robot? Is this a robot?
That entire thing was just clipped and is going viral on YouTube now.
Going viral right now.
YouTube right now on TikTok. That's right.
God, we could hope. Anyway, Murray, to round us out, what are you looking forward to?
Rogue Scout Herringong.
Okay, that could be fun.
Name's gonna be Ahmet Ahem. But you can call me Emma.
I'm thinking about my character's like name literally being Joe.
Joe.
Like it's just like everything about this is like so generic and textbook,
John Smith.
but like John Smith, exactly, like John that Smith. Kind of a thing, like where it's like just so generic to where like anyone actually paying attention would be like,
this seems oddly normal.
Falsified, yeah.
I've been in a campaign where one of the players, his name was Hugh Mann, M-A-N-N.
Hugh Mann.
He wasn't a human, but that's what he came across as.
Hugh Mann.
He was disguising himself as a human, and he went by Hugh Mann. And that campaign was a riot.
I am human.
That was the evil campaign that Vaughn ran. Where I killed an entire town in session 1? Yeah.
See, I took when speaking of an evil campaign, when Murray said to me, "Hey, we're running an evil campaign," I took him far too seriously with my character. That's the thing. You have to give me rules sometimes because I will break those rules. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel the same way.
Guidelines.
I'd probably take an evil campaign too much.
Anyway,
I thought we were fucking evil. Yeah, I let them kill and rape the children. Of course, I'm evil.
Of course I did. I'm evil. But who cares? They're children. Anyway, folks, since I am in charge, apparently for some reason, that I'm calling it right there. That is where we're gonna end the episode. Thank you for all the questions. If you dropped into the chat and asked us a few things. For any future questions, you could always drop into the Discord. There is an Into the Nightmare sub chat that you can always jump into and have a fun time with. Other than that, catch up on the series on YouTube. All 19 episodes are logged in. Merch store. There's a giveaway that we're going to announce the winner for. I think maybe 2 people win in. So one of the two people are going to win.
We can actually figure that out right now. Hopefully the thing will actually work.
Do it.
So let's figure out. No, it didn't. For some reason, it's not working.
Okay,
I don't know why.
Flip a coin,
It
folks.
is. It's gonna be. Well, it's gonna be. I like putting these things on dice.
Yeah, roll a die. Evens.
Evens are the odds are the first. Evens are the second because there's two. And I will take a picture of this. It's an odd. It's a number one. Number one. Which
Number
means Ash Void 15. Congratulations. It's been lovely having you inside the chat this entire time. Absolutely wonderful, darling. Yeah, pop us a message and we will get that over to you. Where's my camera? I don't even know.
You're not looking at it.
Well, not that one, you goob.
Camera is fun. While he takes a
It's on my
picture
phone
to
somewhere.
confirm this, Ash Void, he will get a hold of you as soon as he gets that all figured out and stuff. As far as this campaign goes, join us next Tuesday. We will be back in business. I assume so. I assume Vaughn only needed 1 week, right?
Otherwise, Otherwise, we're coming back next week with a very abstract version of Live, Laugh, Love.
Exactly. That's exactly what we'll do. We'll do 2 in 1 week. No, that's not what we'll do at all because that's too much planning for me. Anyway, we will be back
Eventually,
same bat time, same bat channel next Tuesday at 6:30 Mountain Daylight Time. So, folks,
we're in the mountains.
As he gets back to his computer, I would like to wish you all adieu. We love you.
Don't forget about tomorrow.
Don't forget about tomorrow.
Something
There is
different.
another stream going on. Something different this week because Vaughn is gone once again. So join him. There will be another giveaway. Love you guys. Thank you for the questions. Mwah.
It's been a
Mwah. Mwah. It's been a hoot, as we say here at the Alchemy.
Yeah, may have closed for now. We hope you met a friend this go around. Tired and blurry you may be. We hope your minds are full from this revelry. May peace follow you out. May you return for more giggles